Right now, somewhere on Earth, a person is crying. Not because something's in their eye, not because they're chopping onions. They are crying because they feel something: grief or joy or love, or that specific ache of a song hitting at the wrong moment, and their body has responded by leaking salt water down their face. Stop and look at how strange that is. You are, as far as science can tell, the only creature on this entire planet that does this. Your dog doesn't do it. A chimpanzee, which shares almost all of your DNA, doesn't do it. Elephants and dolphins may grieve, but they don't weep about it. Emotional tears appear to be ours and ours alone, which makes no sense. Evolution is brutally practical. It doesn't usually keep traits that cost energy and do nothing. And crying looks worse than nothing. It blurs your vision, puffs your face, and broadcasts to everyone around you that you are, at that exact moment, at your absolute weakest. So, why on earth would nature build that into us? Why did being human come with tears? In the 1980s, a biochemist named William Frey decided to do something nobody had bothered to do: actually collect human tears and find out what's inside them. What he found suggests your tears are doing something far cleverer than you think. Start with a fact that surprises almost everyone. You have three completely different kinds of tears. The first are basal tears, the thin film that constantly keeps your eyes moist. The second are reflex tears, the flood that comes when you cut an onion or get grit in your eye. Plenty of animals have both of these, and they're plumbing, pure and simple. But the third kind, emotional tears, the ones that come from feeling, those are the mystery. And those are the ones that appear to be uniquely, stubbornly human. The natural assumption is that emotional tears are basically the same as reflex tears, just salt water, triggered by a feeling instead of an onion. Same fluid, different button. Frey's lab found that isn't true. When he compared reflex tears to emotional tears, the emotional ones were chemically different. They carried higher concentrations of certain proteins and stress-related hormones, the kind your body produces when it's under emotional strain. That finding led to a popular idea that crying is partly a release valve, a way of literally flushing stress chemicals out of the body, which might be why a good cry can leave you feeling wrung out but strangely lighter. But even if crying detoxes you a little, that can't be the whole story, because there's a much bigger, weirder clue sitting in plain sight, one that points not at your body, but at everyone around you. Here's the clue. Emotional crying is intensely, unavoidably social. Think about when tears actually come. They come hardest around other people, or when you're thinking about other people. Loss, love, reunion, betrayal. And critically, tears do something to whoever sees them. When you watch another person cry, it is almost impossible not to feel a pull, concern, tenderness, the urge to comfort them. That reaction is fast, involuntary, and nearly universal. This is why many researchers now argue that tears aren't primarily for you at all. They're a signal, aimed outward. Tears may be one of the most honest signals a human can send, precisely because they're so hard to fake on command and so hard to hide. A cry says wordlessly and instantly, "I am overwhelmed. This is real. I need you." Quick question. What's the last thing that actually made you cry? A film, a song, a person, an onion, no judgment. Drop it in the comments. I love reading these. And if you're enjoying this one, A-Like tells the algorithm to show it to more people. Now, the theory that ties it all together, there's a second layer to the signal, and it's beautifully sneaky. Tears blur your vision. For a moment, they physically reduce your ability to defend yourself or strike back. And several researchers have proposed that this is precisely the point. By welling up, you send an unmistakable message. I am lowering my guard. I am not a threat to you. Tears may be a built-in gesture of appeasement and trust, a way of saying, I'm safe to approach at the exact moment you most need someone to approach. Put those together, and you get the leading modern view, championed by researchers like the psychologist Ad Vingerhoots, who wrote an entire book on the question of why only humans weep. The argument is that crying evolved as a social superglue. Humans survived by cooperating in tight groups, and cooperation runs on trust and empathy. A signal that reliably triggers compassion in the people around you, that pulls the group toward a member in distress, is enormously valuable. Tears bond us. They turn one person's pain into a shared event, and it starts on day one. A newborn can't speak, can't point, can't survive a single hour alone, but it can cry, and that cry is engineered to make an exhausted adult drop everything and respond. Crying is quite literally the first language we ever use, and it's a demand for connection. We just never fully grow out of it, which flips the way we usually talk about crying completely on its head. We tend to treat tears as weakness, something to swallow, to hide, to apologize for. Sorry, I'm being ridiculous. But if the science is right, crying isn't a malfunction of a person who's too weak to cope. It's one of the most sophisticated social tools your species ever evolved. A hard to fake, instantly readable signal that says I trust you enough to fall apart in front of you. Crying in front of someone is, in evolutionary terms, an act of profound trust. So the next time your throat tightens and your eyes sting, in a film, at a funeral, at a wedding, on the phone, you don't have to be embarrassed by it. You're not glitching. You're running a 100,000-year-old program that built the very bonds that let our fragile, clawless, slow little species survive at all. So, why are humans the only animal that cries? Because we're the animal that survives on connection. Emotional tears are an honest signal, aimed at the people around us. I'm overwhelmed, I trust you, come closer. Other animals feel. Only we discovered that leaking salt water from your eyes could pull the whole group toward you. Crying isn't weakness. It might be one of the most human things we do. If that changed how you see it, subscribe. One of these lands every week. And next we go from the pain you can see to a pain almost everyone has felt. Toothache. Now imagine it's 9,000 years ago. There's no dentist, no ibuprofen, no chemist, no escape. Just a molar slowly rotting in your skull and nothing on earth to make it stop. What did people actually do? The answer includes a stone-tipped drill used on a living person. That's next. I'll see you there.